Hi everyone, this is Crystal Lee, aka the Clinician Coach, and I'm here today talking about overcoming imposter syndrome. So in the Facebook group, I saw a lot of people are struggling with this, and then if you saw my self-disclosing post, I also have struggled with this. It's a really common issue. So I'm here telling you about 8 different ways that can potentially help you overcome this. So before we dive in, I just want to make a little note about who I am and what the clinician coach is. So I'm a business coach that helps people build businesses that are passion driven, but that actually fit their life instead of the other way around, because I find a lot of times we've been socialized by grad school, our profession, to sacrifice a lot and to really make our business the priority and fit our life around our business. And I think that's just kind of BS. So that's kind of my philosophy. And so I'm hoping that, by giving you these free tips and advice and support, that you're able to really build a business that really fits into your lifestyle. Imposter syndrome is really good at making us feel like we're isolated in our experience and that we are all alone. So one of the really important things to just start off with is just knowing you are not alone. So many other people experience the same feeling of feeling not good enough or less than, or everyone else is kind of the real deal and you are being fake or whatever. So just know you are not alone in this experience. When you really get down to it, a lot of imposter syndrome is grounded in comparing yourself to others. You are looking at other people saying like, ooh, I am not as good as them, or I'm not as worthy as them, or they have so much more experience, or blah, 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 blah. So one of the essential things of kind of overcoming and tackling imposter syndrome is to just stop comparing yourself to others. Really just focus on yourself and how to improve upon your business from day to day instead of comparing your business to someone else's business or your credentials to someone else's credentials. Imposter syndrome really puts us in an insecure mind space, which means we often find it easier to remember all of the negative things that are going on that reinforce that insecurity, instead of being able to remember those awesome things and your wins and positive experiences. So something that helps some people is actually writing down those wins that you've had recently, or your awesome qualities, or those positive experiences that have happened, and keeping that top of mind and having it nearby. So when you're feeling a little insecure, going back and being able to reflect on that instead of just having all of those negative thoughts swirling in your head. It's also really important to remember that just because you're having these feelings of being an imposter doesn't mean that it's true. Far from it, right? We know that thoughts in our mind are just thoughts. They're not actual facts, but I think sometimes when we get in this negative mind space of imposter syndrome, everything just feels like it's accurate and fact and that this is reality. But thoughts are not reality. Thoughts and feelings are separate from what is happening in the real world. So one of the crappy things about imposter syndrome is it makes you more and more self-focused. But that's not the reason why we started our private practices, our businesses. Our businesses were built because we wanted to help other people. We wanted to give them better lives. So the antidote to imposter syndrome is really to start refocusing your energy and your thoughts back onto your clients and to the value that you're giving them. It takes you out of the equation almost. So it's really all about, are your clients doing well? Are they happy with your service and the value that you're giving? If that's the case, then it doesn't matter if you feel insecure or if you feel like you don't have enough experience or training or whatever. Your clients are doing well, and that's all that matters. Sometimes I'll hear from people that they believe if they need support, then they're an imposter because everyone else is able to do it on their own. And I want to just let you know that that is not true at all. Everyone needs support. Even the most successful business owners and CEOs, whatever, they need support. They're not doing it all on their own. So really let go of this idea that in order to be a true success or not an imposter, you have to be able to do everything on your own. That's just not realistic. Oftentimes, at the root of imposter syndrome are perfectionistic standards. So I'm not talking about necessarily that you believe everything has to be just perfect before you can feel secure in your abilities and in your business. But I do mean that you have an ideal in mind, like something you think is the standard. Once you've arrived here, once things are situated like that, then you can feel comfortable or like you've arrived and things are great. So in order to overcome imposter syndrome, you need to let go of that idea of whatever is the right way to do things, or the ideal way to do things, or the perfect way to do things. And lastly, you might want to consider doing your own work in therapy, because sometimes those perfectionistic standards or those ideas around needing to do things on your own or comparing yourself to others is more deeply rooted than just some good positive intentions can overcome. So if that's the case, then absolutely like talking to someone else in therapy and really figuring out like what is at the root of this and how can I address this so I can move forward is necessary. So for those of you who aren't watching this on Facebook, I just wanted to give a little shout out to our Facebook group, Build a Thriving Practice. This is where I provide free resources and support. And there's also just a really cool community of other psychologists and therapists who are going through the same thing that you are. And it's a great place to get some, emotional support, but also bounce some ideas off of them. It's a really cool group. I hope you consider joining us. But thank you again for watching the video and hope to see you soon.